Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and you are watching Career Over Mindset Talk Show. On today's video, we are going to talk about the importance of not overlooking mindset over career, and also the importance of the volunteering and taking part in an internship. On today's show, I have some interaction with me. Allow me to introduce Mr. Busuma, the Minister of Information and Research at Mulungushi University, and I have the powerful accountant in the midst, Mr. Chipeko Chilea, and also have the powerful economist, Mr. Emmanuel Carter, and also have my fellow friend who is in Owen Lukanga. Yes. So, not much of wasting our time. Please watch this video and stick to, because we are about to review the importance of not overlooking your mindset, and we are going to review how the mindset play a major role in career success. Yes. So I'll give it to my friend.
Oh yeah. Thank you once more, and welcome to our channel. So getting straight into the topic of discussion, we'll talk of the mindset. We all have a mind, right? And
Yes.
We have to put the mind to something that we want to accomplish. So we're going to talk of open learning and growth. Open learning and growth, and how you embrace failure as a person, as a student. You know, even there in the corporate world, how do you embrace failure, and are you proactive in seeking feedback and self-improvement? So I'll begin by asking Mr. Chipeko, how do you get to have a productive or creative mindset in everything that you do? It might be in your career, especially in careers, because we are focusing on this. How do you get to have a positive mindset?
Okay, thank you so much, Owen. So first of all, I feel like you cannot grow without experiencing failure and embracing failure. If you want to grow, failure is something you have to experience and encounter. What matters though is how you deal with it, how you come out from that failure. So I believe to embrace growth as a person, it can be in your career, in your education. You need to have you need to want to be better than you were initially. That's the underlying factor. Just improving, being better than you were yesterday.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, from what you are saying, we can summarize it in simpler terms to say you have to fail forward, right?
You have to fail forward. I like that.
That's
Not failing backwards.
Not failing backwards.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, Mr. Usuma, what can you add on?
Thank you so much once again. I really think the most important thing about failure is that we learn from it.
Yeah.
You know, in most cases, especially in career and academia, as we can put it as students, most people fail once and feel it's the end of the road.
Oh yeah.
But really, nobody has ever had a smooth journey. So what's important is when you face a problem in your journey or academia or professionalism, of course, always ask for feedback, as you put it.
Yeah.
Because it's feedback from people that will really help you know where you made an error. So next time when you're presented with a similar test, opportunity, or challenge, you know how best you face it. So fail forward, as you put it.
Fail forward.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So, yes, Mr. Emmanuel.
To add on that.
Spices, I'd fail forward, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a very big check, guys. So I think in terms of failing, right? Fail forward, right?
Yeah.
So key in that is just resilience in it, though.
Yeah.
So when you fail, what happens? It's a critical point for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So what is resilience? Resilience is just basically the ability to bounce back to failure.
Yeah.
So in order to grow,
Mhm.
okay, you fail. But the failure is only an indication that in some areas, I'm lacking in some areas. I have to improve in those areas. So resilience is now going back to those areas, and now develop in this area, maybe academics. I study more, maybe it's in a relationship, I understand more. So now it's like I'm building up my game, When I go back in the game now, I'll be on a different level, and that's growth.
Yeah. I think I love what you are from saying, where you are saying failure actually requires you to have a resilience, whereby you are bouncing back, you're able to fell forward in simpler terms that we can say. And when we look at the growth mindset, it allows you to see failure in different angles. Maybe others, or maybe Owen can take maybe getting a 20 out of 100 as a big setup. But if you have a growth mindset, you can begin to realize that you've actually done far much better than you used to do. I remember there was a day I was watching. I don't know if you guys watched what's this? Mind Your Language. The show.
Yeah. You don't mind your language, right? It's a comedy or classic.
Yeah. There was this guy. I've forgotten his name. He was explaining about how Mr. Brown, the teacher, asked him, you also failed. Then he was like, no, I've actually improved because last time I got one, but
so I didn't fail.
Yes.
Wow.
So, but this time I've gotten a 20 out of 100, which was a big achievement for them. So once we begin to look our failure in that angle, we're able to allow ourselves to experience growth.
Yeah.
So from what I've said, that's something that I've actually picked up.
Exactly, and I like it that we've brought this topic of discussion, overlooking the mindset over the career. You know, so sometimes, in as much as you are pursuing a career or anything else, you can focus on the career quite alright, but what mindset do you have over that career? Yeah, are you is your mindset up to that career, or are you just overlooking the mindset and just looking at the career on its own? Because the career will stand there, but what about your mindset over that career? Because the career might be simple or it might be easy to tackle, but if your mindset is not up there, then I think that would be a fail. So I think
you've just reminded me of something. When you talk about focusing on the career path, we also have a different perspective about our own career. What influence does the perspective that we hold on something has on maybe career, everything that we want to achieve? Let me hear from you.
Nice question.
So if I got you clearly, you're saying, what role does the mindset play over the careers that we choose?
The perception, rather the perception. How
perception.
You perceive the career.
Rephrase that again. These are two tricky terms. So phrase it in a way that will be able to capture it.
Perception.
Yeah.
He's trying to find out how your growth mindset can affect how you excel in your career.
Okay, I get it. That one is good actually. You know, just as he put it, there are people studying social work today and they're saying this is hard. While there are engineers today studying what they're studying and yet saying, wow, I'm enjoying this. Why? Because of the particular mindset that they have. I'm a student of international relations and we do a lot of politics. I can tell you that I've never faced challenges, as they may put it, as challenges of school being hard up to today. Not because what I study is not hard, but because of the interest and that mindset of willing to learn and adapt to new developments that keep on coming. And that is why I think the mindset comes in. Because something can be simple and something can be hard, but how you think about it and how you're willing to be resilient to change. Because each day we'll have developments in politics, each day we'll have developments in all sorts of angles in life, but how you choose as an individual to adapt, that is what really matters the most, and you do fine in your career.
Okay.
Yes.
Adaptability. Let's talk about
you're supposed to be able to adapt to any environment. You know, when you talk about adaptability, you might get the simplest, like let's get to children maybe. You know, children are very much adaptable to environments. Why? Because they don't really see much of challenges. They don't see the other bad part of life. All they see is just beauty. You know, it's just simplicity in the end. So I think we should embrace that.
On that note as well, I think having a teachable attitude is what guarantees success.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing French as a language and as a course.
Yeah.
And my lecturer just yesterday was saying, it's funny how students come with so much zeal in their second year wanting to study French. But once they get to their third year and things get a little bit complicated, as in French we would say pas compliqué, c'est difficile. It's a bit difficult there. It becomes complicated. People lose the morale and they end up missing classes. Why? Because their mindset now is telling them, saying, this thing is hard.
Yeah.
But if they are ready to adapt and have a teachable attitude, which
Yeah.
first starts in your mind,
yeah.
then they'll be able to graduate with a distinction in that language. So adaptability and resilience comes in.
Yeah, cool. So like I think I would like to like sum up these words, right? So there's teachable, adaptability.
Yeah.
So all these things, I would put them in this phrase called the growth mindset, right? So I think it's good to understand what it means, guys, the growth mindset. So other people have defined it as the belief that abilities can evolve or improve, right? So it goes back to that idea of saying that maybe let's say, okay, I want to go to school and do economics, right? But then also I believe that I can always improve on that or go into maybe or like another department and sector, right? But then I would like to also maybe bring in like maybe the opposing force to that, right? Which is a fixed mindset. So it's good to understand the fixed mindset. Right? So I go to Mulungusha and say, you know what, guys, I want to go and do maybe engineering, guys. And that's all I want to do. And it's because I know where I'm going. When I graduate, I'm going to get a job there. So engineering, right? So it's fixed. So in that way, there's no room to grow, adapt, or lean. It's key for us to understand the other side of the growth mindset, which is a fixed mindset.
I love what you are just from saying. There was a time I think we were just shooting our first video. Yeah, I remember Mr. Titan, the one who was our guest speaker in one of our videos.
The second video.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was the second video. Yes. He actually mentioned something about being the ability to adapt to your environment and also to have a growth mindset, whereby it was basically on the importance of having a degree. A degree shows how the ability of you adapting to a different let me just borrow what he said. He actually said the degree shows how trainable you are to actually adapt to any kind of situation that you are having. So having a growth mindset and also having a fixed mindset is something that we actually work on. Others, maybe I can just put it when you want to have a fixed mindset. It's something that you're actually working on without you realizing that you are fixed. You are putting your mind, everything that you have on the fixed place. And also having a growth mindset is something that we work on intentionally. Allowing ourselves to learn and also allowing ourselves to adapt to different environment.
Talking of intentionally, this brings me to this other area of our discussion. So we're talking of a growth mindset and having a growth mindset, and not overlooking the growth mindset to our career. So, in as much as we are pursuing our careers, there's that aspect of internships and volunteering.
Okay.
So, can someone try to highlight to me the difference between internship and volunteering? Because I might say I'm volunteering, someone might say I'm doing interns. I'll start with you, Mr. Mana. What is the thing like? Is there any difference between that? In as much as you are not overlooking your mindset to your career.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll give the most basic understanding that I have, right? So internship, we're talking about like an opportunity of you going to practice in your field of study, right? Yeah, so you go there knowing that I'm going there to go and maybe go and learn more about my program and put all the theories into practice. And volunteer is move like accepting every opportunity to say I'm going to learn and gain experience. So volunteering is more about it's a very big landscape where you just go and learn new things.
It's like providing vast opportunities.
It's broad. Internship is more narrowed and fixed to your career studies.
I love how you have defined the difference between the career and internship and the volunteering.
Yeah.
When you're talking of volunteering, it's something that is broad. Like I can be doing like how I'm doing accounting and finance, right? I can volunteer to be a salesperson.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking of internship, I can do internship based on the accounting and finance. So I don't want to over define it because I know
Musuma is the best definition.
I'm actually waiting for Usuman's definition.
no, I want to actually get a different perspective so that whoever is watching our video can actually gain a valuable lesson from this. And once we begin to look things in a different perspective, we actually make our life easier.
That's
in
true.
a way that we begin to see the difficult things to be easy because we are understanding it in a different angle.
Yeah.
So let me hear from
Actually, Mr. Usuman's question will be, in as much as you give us the definition, also try to advise our viewers here on what you think is best, or if maybe putting in a career position, someone who's in a career position, what do you think is best for them to do? Should they go for the volunteering part, or should they go for the internship part, and why?
Okay, I
I
love
pose it
this.
to you.
I love this. Okay, thank you so much. First of all, to the viewers, I would love us to understand a few things that I'll point out. And the first thing is mindset. And we've spoken of a fixed mindset and a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So let me put them in two categories. A fixed mindset is an internship mindset. A growth mindset is a voluntary mindset.
Yeah.
Why? Because internships are subject to the kind of career that you are doing, meaning there is no room for improvement in other fields. Because if you're an accountant, you stick to your accounting and go and intern with a bank so that you improve on your skills. But if you have a growth mindset, immediately after doing internships for a month, you will then go to USAID and say, okay, let me partner with you in voluntary work and help distribute condoms, but it's not accounting.
Yeah.
That means you have a growth mindset where you develop other skills apart from what you are doing, like that.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Then the other question was, what would you advise?
What would you advise?
I would actually advise having a growth mindset which is more voluntary. For example, he is an accountant, you are an accountant, but you are running this platform, which is something that journalists and media students must be doing.
Yeah.
So meaning, right here, you've developed a growth mindset, which does not limit your skills and potentials, because after graduation, you do not know what you might end up doing. Therefore, you have a skill that you've developed and you have your career on the other side. Meaning you've not overlooked the growth mindset over the career that is accountancy. And that is what I would love also the viewers to focus on. Develop both.
You have to be there.
Yes,
Mr. Shpego, I know you've got some shots.
I've just been taking notes. But I agree with what my colleagues have said. Basically, internships are narrow in terms of the opportunities to learn, because what you're focusing on is applying what you've learned in a classroom, applying what you've learned in a lecture.
That's true.
With volunteering, you are presenting yourself. Okay, here I am. Whatever task you have for me to do, I will do it as long as you tell me how it's done.
Yes.
And that's not only are you learning, you are also creating an opportunity for yourself. You're showing that you are available. You are able to adapt. I heard a story last week or the other week. These people who volunteered for when the cholera pandemic was going on. So these people who volunteered, they were just volunteering. Obviously, they weren't getting paid, but they were providing services to help combat the pandemic. And last week, the president. They were in state, they were hired, and now they are working because they volunteered. They showed that they were able to do. So I feel, in as much as internships are good, they'll keep you locked in. They'll train you in what you're supposed to know. But volunteering, I feel like it has a wider range of opportunities.
Just a quick question. Under one or two words, what should be the motivation for someone to do internships and volunteering? What should motivate someone?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Just in 3 or 4 words.
in 3 or 4
something
words,
like that.
it has to be wanting to improve yourself.
Yeah.
You have to want to be able to, what can I say?
Diversify.
Diversify, exactly. Yeah. You hit it on the head.
Yeah.
The nail on the head,
Yeah. What about you, sir?
Mr. Manu, please bring it out.
Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I might be the only one vouching for internship here. I mean,
No, it's fine.
volunteering is good because you're speaking about diversifying, right? It's broad, so there are more opportunities and there are more chances, right? But me, I'll go with a bit of excellence, you guys, right? And I want to be excellent in a field, so I want to specialize. So, the idea of a growth mindset is applicable like in both fields, right? Even in the field of internship, right? I can go there and go and improve myself in my field on a higher level. So, but I'll go with the mindset. I want to specialize, right? So, my idea is to be more effective in my program because I want to go maybe on a higher level, higher scale, then be So I'm not saying it's bad to go for volunteering. It's good if you want to diversify, right? But now I prefer excellency because I want to do more and have a great impact in that field. So for me, I would advise my people to do internships, guys, because you become better with your program,
Actually, on what you've said, I feel like, especially for us in the accounting profession, it's like you're climbing a corporate ladder. Because when you go as an intern, you can't tell me you want to be an intern forever. You're going to climb up to middle management, top management, you become the CFO, CEO, and with internships, it's providing you with that opportunity to grow, but in that narrow path, you're growing, you're climbing that ladder. So, as Emmanuel said, both of them have their advantages, but it really depends on what you want as a person. So you really have to introspect. You have to think personally, okay, how do I want to excel in my career? Do I want to diversify? Do I want to specify?
Over to you, Mr. Mansa. How would you conclude on the internship and volunteering? Are you with this other side or we are on the same track?
No, I'm actually enjoying what the other gents have actually said. To think of it in both volunteering and also doing internship. I think we can't overlook that there is no growth in them. I believe there is growth, but what determines growth is how you are looking at it. There's such things as whereby, like, I can be doing internship for the sake of doing internship, but I have no purpose of why I'm doing internship.
That's true.
Or someone can be doing internship for the purpose of them improving on themselves and also them finding an opportunity or leaving a name on an organization to say, okay, this person, he was doing an internship and he has done it in a way that the impact has been felt.
Actually, on that one, let me just contribute something. It's funny how this time around on top of academia, because that's career now, how you would go to a 4th-year engineering student, electrical engineering student, give them an adapter and say, it had sparks on the socket, kindly help me fix this. Then the person will say, I think I don't know, but you can see that one, he's at least better with this theory. Then you ask, saying, why is the growth mindset in you is a 4th-year born in the field and you can't fix this?
That's true.
It is very sad. So I think the growth mindset is something that we can't overlook and must be paid attention to. So even to those of you who are watching, who are yet to come to university, those of you still in university, I think make the most out of what you do. Go the way of interns so that you are specific. If we take this, if we assume this is a rotten apple, this is a good apple. If we put them together, eventually this good apple will start sucking from the rotten apple. So I'll make them opposite. If this rotten apple is somebody who has advanced maybe in the field of accounting, then you who is a good apple, fresh, joins this one, you eventually get rotten as well, and you become rotten together as big heads in the field.
I love that. So guys, to our viewers, this is the Mind Over Career talk show, and we are discussing not overlooking the mindset when it comes to your career. In as much as you're focusing on your career, do not overlook your mindset. And we are also discussing internships and volunteering. So, guys, sorry, just to wrap up on the internship and stuff. So, we're saying having networking. So, both internships and volunteering provide you with networking opportunities, to provide you with skill development, and that will also give you some personal growth to some extent. So, now, looking at career readiness.
Yes.
You've done all the career, you've done all the volunteering, you've done all the internships. What do you now you want to get into your career, into your profession? What are some weaknesses and strengths that we get to encounter?
Maybe
Let me start with the weaknesses.
let me start.
In readiness for the career.
In readiness for, so I feel like one of the major challenges, and you've spoken about this before in one of your videos.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Oh, watches our videos.
If you haven't watched the video on imposter syndrome, go back.
Yeah.
Go and
Go
check
back
on
to the
it.
previous
Go
video.
and check on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, for those who may not know, imposter syndrome is a situation where you feel, from the term itself, you feel like an imposter. You don't belong there. Like you're not good enough.
Yeah.
When you start your career, you'll be in an organization with specialists.
Yeah.
That's true.
People who've been doing this for 10 years, and you are fresh from university. When you're studying the night before the exam, so you don't you don't even know.
Last minute.
Yeah, exactly. You start doubting yourself and your ability. But yeah, that's one of the major challenges that
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah, imposter syndrome. It's but I feel like the growth mindset helps you understand that here, all these people who are ahead of you, who they are not your competition, they can also help you grow because they've done this before. They've been here.
Yes.
They can help you, grow. Get into that growth mindset.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that he has actually touched on the imposter syndrome. It's actually most of the time we get to feel that feeling of not worthy enough to be in the place where we want to be. Maybe we can. It's something that we can actually relate to, whenever we are trying to move from our comfort zone, we get to feel uncomfortable. But how do we overcome that feeling of uncomfortable? I think for me, I can say, when it comes to you beginning your career, it's about time whereby you have to embrace your uncomfortable feeling, where you are willing to embrace the uncomfortable feeling, because growth comes with the feeling of being uncomfortable, whereby you're actually comfortable with what you are having or what you are where you are in life. But when it comes to growth, it actually push you from the comfortable place to uncomfortable place. So beginning your career and beginning something new, it actually requires you to fall in love with the feeling of uncomfortability.
So this is a very interesting aspect in career readiness. So Mr. Busuma, taking for instance, you're doing international relations, right?
Yes.
And you just graduated, right? And this firm, this NGO organization comes to you and it puts you in that place where there's different corporate people and you're just a junior there. It's not intense, it's job. It's ready there. Yeah, just after graduating. So how do you handle that? What are some strengths that you think you might have in you, despite looking at the imposter syndrome and whatnot?
Okay.
What are some things that you think will motivate you to actually go for it and be ready to do the task?
Well, thank you so much. I love that. I think the degree itself prepares you to handle the workplace, because in a degree there is diversity, and so you meet different courses that will challenge you differently. In the same way, you meet different lecturers who will challenge you in their own different ways. Like sometimes you'll be a Christian and you meet a lecturer who's not, and they say, I don't care about your Jesus and his 12 followers, those guys. So that alone creates a teachable attitude in you.
Yeah.
And so when you go in the workplace, of course you find other people there and you're just a junior. So how do you adapt to that? I think the degree is fit enough to prepare you for such a place. And what's just important is to humble yourself before the people that you know, because you cannot go to a firm and organization and start stating the 8 characteristics of making a company succeed that you just learned in school.
Yeah.
While there are people there, I can use an example, but I'll not name the company, of a man that went there as a junior, found other people, but went there on promotion because he now had a master's degree. So he went there, and these old downs were offended, saying, how can this young man just come and want to start making changes when we've been here dealing with these machines for a very long time? What does he think of himself? So I feel the best thing is to humble yourself, learn how things are done. Then with time, start giving suggestions of ideas on how best a system can be changed to best improve it, which is adaptability, resilience, and teachability that you learn while in school.
Wow.
But it all comes with the mindset.
Yeah.
I love it.
We are talking the mindset here. I can see people all have the growth mindset.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Mr. Emmanuel, let's hear from you.
Most of the things have been spoken about, right?
Yeah.
You know, understanding that you fail. It's knowing that I'm going to fail. And I can't start on top, obviously.
True.
Like he said, you just come and say, you know what, guys, I don't like the lighting of this room. And it's because you guys, so understanding the place, first of all, is where I go on the baseline and be humble. So understand I'm a junior. I have to learn from these guys, even if they are wrong or right, though, I learn through that, right? Yeah, and then along the way, I understand the company better.
They say it's either you win or learn. There's no failing in life.
Yeah,
There's no
no
win
failing.
or learn.
Yeah, win or learn though, yeah. With time, I'm sure you become more of an expert in that company.
Yeah.
The time will come when you start giving out suggestions.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Mr. Chipeko, what are some mindset? What are some mindsets? How has your mindset affected the choices of your career? Do you ever feel to some extent to say, when you look back and say,
I was
wow,
affected.
I think this has affected my career. Like, these choices that I made has actually affected my
The
career.
mindset.
Yeah, how has your mindset
Okay.
affected the choices of your career?
Okay.
Or are there instances?
Okay. That's a very good question. So, I feel like there are, in my experience, there are some situations where I didn't have the correct mindset. I didn't have the growth mindset. And one thing I would do would be victimizing, putting myself as the victim. I'll give a very practical example, something we can all relate to. Let's say you write a principle. This is in first year, principles of accounting. You get, let's say you get maybe low marks, 20%.
Yeah.
And you look at that and you say, first of all, you don't introspect. You start pointing the blame. Say, no, the lecturer wasn't coming for classes. There was no electricity. You just start distributing the blame and victimizing, making yourself look like the victim. I feel like that's one limitation that a lot of us should try our best to overcome, because it's something that happens a lot, and impulsively. We don't even mean to victimize.
Yeah.
It's just our ego doesn't like being wrong. We don't like to be the one who's made the mistake. So we try and but really I feel like victimization, because let's say in the workplace you fail to submit a report on time, instead of looking and seeing, okay, why didn't I submit this on time? Maybe I didn't allocate enough time to doing this project, or maybe I wasn't as focused, maybe there's something distracting me in the background. Instead of saying, no, but the person who brought this to my desk only brought it to me last week. I can't do this in 7 days, and things like that. I feel like, that's in my experience, that's something that...
Just to answer that question, let me pose that same question to myself. I feel how my mindset has affected my career choices is, in the first place, I didn't want to be an accountant.
That's why now I wanted to go.
I didn't want to be an accountant, no.
How did you end up an accountant?
But how did I end up being an accountant? So I ended up being an accountant due to circumstances, life situations, and things like that. Then I also ended up being an accountant due to the advice that I got from my peers, my of people surrounding me, my elders and stuff like that. But do I regret of not becoming an accountant? Because it never crossed my mind that I'll be an accountant.
Yeah.
You know, but after getting into the accountancy studies and everything, I think it changed my mind. It changed my mindset. I now have the growth mindset where I say, I'm now in this, I'm doing this. So how best can I utilize what I have right now and put it into best practice? So I think the moment that I started doing accounting, it slowly started changing my mind. You know, I slowly started having that growth mindset over my career because it enabled me to see accounting in a positive direction. Yeah, in a bright light. So I think your growth mindset, I mean the mindset actually really has an impact over your career.
Very
And,
true.
Yeah.
So in short, what you are saying is the mindset can put you in the place of failing, and also the mindset can put you in the place of succeeding in your career.
Okay, not necessarily failing, but it can put you in a place where you realize to say that you're not doing the best of what you're supposed to do. Or it can put you in a position where you realize to say, I'm not supposed to be doing this, let me try to do some other things. Not necessarily failing, but pushing you ahead to do something. Other than,
I can see. I can see.
Practice, I'm also like a victim under this sort, I came here for this program, now I'm doing this program.
Yeah.
So I came here under computer science, right? Now I want to be a computer scientist. NS, to speak. But at first I had a very fixed mindset, right?
Yeah.
And the fixed mindset is like it plots like your whole journey to say, okay, at point A I'll be here, on point B I would have done this, point C I would have done this, and the ending is this, right? The risk now is that you're now vulnerable to the fear of failure because you don't want to fail. Because any mistake
Can
at those
set you off
points
track.
Yeah.
are now like out of place. That's the thing though. So you see, like when I came here, I saw my whole life, guys, until the end of finishing, graduating, going to work. Everything was fixed, okay? So I didn't want to fail at all. I came in NS, things were crazy, things were bad. I was so scared of. I was like, Jesus. So if I get a D anywhere in my grade, now it's over. Life is done. Shambled, So you see, I was afraid of school every day. I couldn't study well. I was just afraid of failing. I didn't want to fail, So I was very, very, very like I was in a bad place, So long story short, okay, things happened in between. I changed my program, right? And I went to like economics. So like on that field now, economics, I never went there saying, okay, I've seen my life through, like I've seen the points. No, I just went there knowing that, I like this field, I know more about economics, and I would like to excel in this program. So I went there now with a very, like a growth mindset, knowing that I'm here to learn.
Yeah.
And now, guys, come on.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sorry to cut you short, you guys. As we conclude, I would like to pose this question to my two colleagues here. What are some experiences or some skills that you think people are supposed to have in as much as they are pursuing their careers, and of course not overlooking the growth mindset? What are some skills and experiences that one has to obtain in order to achieve their career goals and not overlooking their mindset growth? I'll start with in a few words, please. We already have time.
Maximum 5.
Yeah. So I'll start with Mwansa.
I love the question. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think to think of it, first of all, you have to do a lot of self-reflection for you to actually look at what skills do you have, in how and what experience do you have. Like one thing, one skill that I can actually say, like in a sense of whereby you've done the internship, you also you've doing volunteering and not overlooking the mindset itself, or having a growth mindset. Growth mindset will actually help you to have the skills also.
Yeah.
So the skills that I may actually say is the skills of adaptability. One thing that I've learned over the last month, I was actually doing some internship with ZNBC, Kitwe. Yeah. and most of the time where you can be working as an intern, and then they will leave you alone in the office, and then you'll be presented by work, and you literally don't know the steps that you need to take. But if you have the ability to adapt and also to actually look to see things in a different way, you can actually find a process. So one thing that I used to do if I'm actually stuck, I don't know what to do, is I'll just go back to the record that they keep. I see how they started and what was the process, and also how it reached at the stage that I want to reach. And that helped me to actually look as an intelligent person.
Wow.
Yo, this person is smart. But literally, I didn't know anything. Just to have that ability to adapt to the environment and also not to overthink. I think that's what I can say.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr.
Well, it's a good one. I've actually interacted with so many students, and they've been giving me questions that have not really been good. Where I ask them, saying, you are doing, for example, human resource management. How is your schedule in campus? Then this student comes to you and says, I wake up, I go to class. After class, I eat shima. Then I rest, watch a movie in the evening. I go and study, and that is how my week goes. On a Saturday, I wash. On a Sunday, I go to church. Then I'm saying, what skills are you developing? Be it in your field of study or outside your field of study. Let me make reference to myself personally. I'm doing a career in politics or political science, as I may call it. And through that, I've developed skills of interacting with people, public speaking as well, so that I may be able to develop as an individual while pursuing my career, as well as skills in business, because we all need to survive in this financial economy. Even the Bible says money makes the world go around.
True.
So it's very, very important that you cultivate different skills, and of course using the potentials that you have, because each one has got potentials. So you can do hair, do that on a Saturday while pursuing your degree. You're good with barbing, buy a machine, an electric one, do some barbing over the weekend while pursuing your degree. It will really help, and skills are just essential in that way.
Well, this has been an awesome moment. This has been some great moment that we've shared different ideas and different experiences, and it's just been mind-blowing.
Yes.
At least even our viewers there, you won't stop watching this. You won't be the same if you stop watching this video. Obviously, you've learned something, gotten some important points, and I think we were discussing not overlooking the growth mindset in as much as you are pursuing your career, and as you are doing the interns and volunteering, that will direct you to your career growth. So
very important. I love it. You've heard it, boys, guys. We just, from talking about the importance of not overlooking your mindset over the career, and also the importance of not overlooking the internship and also volunteering. So just to wrap up with our video, thank you for watching, and subscribe to this channel. If there is someone that can actually benefit from this conversation that we are from having, please share to them. Don't hesitate to share. We thank you, we appreciate you, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Mindset Over Career.
Thank you so much, guys, for having you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh yeah, and the elephant in the room was what? We did address the elephant in the room. The fixed mindset, which was the enemy. The fixed mindset wasn't talked about. It's the fixed mindset.